Today we're talking about Ladybug
and other pop culture news.
Tonight we're going to talk about Miraculous, Ladybug and Cat Noir. Is that what it's called, right?
Yes.
Okay. But before we talk about it, we consult some specialists, some audience, target audience for the show, and they gave us a little bit, very little, we're going to talk about why after, of their opinion and feelings about the movie. Let's see it.
Hi, my name is Andy.
Hi, my name is Diana.
We watched Miraculous, Ladybug and Cat Noir, the movie. And I liked that Ladybug and Cat Noir have to save the world.
The giant croissant monster looked delicious. Ladybug and Cat Noir and Hawk Moth. Ladybug and Cat Noir have to save the world.
Ladybug has a yo-yo that she uses to swing around.
Cat Noir has the staff to whack around.
What was your favorite part of the movie?
When they kissed.
The song.
Is there anything you didn't like about the movie?
That they had different voices when they sang.
That they kissed.
If your friend asked you about this movie, what would you tell them?
That they kissed.
That there was a giant croissant monster that looked delicious. Watch this movie, please. Watch this movie, please, because it's just a new Ladybug movie.
Parents watch it with your kids. Ladybug and Cat Noir is on Netflix. Bye-bye.
In a previous interview, our special guest commentators added this insight into the film. Quote, "It felt like a grown-up show for kids. Lots of love and happiness and lots of seriousness too."
So, as you see, they had a lot to talk about it, and they constantly talk about it. They, between them, they remember everything. They remember the songs. We can. It's hard to teach them how to sing church hymns, like short church hymns, like one verse.
Yeah.
And they already memorized the song for this. That's how much they like, and they saw multiple times. But the camera and the microphone and the lights.
It's so scary.
And they froze. So that's why they don't say much. But in the future episodes, you hope they will be more, comfortable in front of the camera to talk more about what they feel about those movies. Because some of those movies, especially this one, is made for them, and they liked it. They saw it first. We saw. I mean, you saw first. You saw before, right?
I'd seen most of it before.
Yeah. I only had the chance to see it today. But yeah, that's our girls. But what we thought about the movie, I honestly thought it was really good. It was from beginning to end is about to start. These days of woke mob, woke garbage everywhere, polluting. It always happened in culture, in movies, in TV, but now it's beyond using metaphors. Now it's beyond using art to transmit a message or an agenda or propaganda. Now it's like preaching, 24. It's like almost brainwashing because it's so much. So it takes away from the story. This movie is the opposite. This movie, from beginning to end, is the story of the characters. I don't know the show. I see bits and clips of the show, and to be honest, I was like, I never caught my attention. But the movie did. The movie is extremely well done. They use some, if not all, of the cast from the show. They
everyone, any of the recurring characters in the show who don't they don't all have lines, but you'll see them in the background. They're all there.
But the main two, the girl and the boy are the same from the show, right?
Yeah.
But again, I never seen the show.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, the show is originally French. So when I was checking the IMDb, the information from the movie, there's like several people there's like no pictures on IMDb. It's like, who is this people? And I scrolled. I said, oh, original sound, original audio voices in French. So the French actors and actresses, for some reason, I guess they either didn't bother about IMDb or.
Yeah.
Anyways, so French content brought to what Disney Nickelodeon. That's the confusing part.
I thought my kids and I have always watched it on Netflix, and that's where the movie is.
The movie is original. As the girl said, is original Netflix.
Mm-hmm. But you can also watch the series on Disney Plus.
Yes.
So who got it first and how? I don't know. But
sorry.
That's it. But it's there.
Yeah, the movie is a Netflix original. Is doing very well at the box office. Where they premiered, it didn't premiere everywhere, but it's interestingly. I don't know. You could say more about the characters, if they change anything, if they suppress anything, if they added anything. But the movie works as an origin story, right? So I guess in the show they go through the orange.
We do see their origin stories. This one, I feel like it's a great addition to the franchise. It doesn't really change anything. It just kind of embiggens, which is kind of what I like to see when, like with other animated films, like going from a series to a film, like with Bob's Burgers we talked about. It's you've got everything good from the show, and now they just did it bigger because they had more time and a better budget. The animation's a little nicer.
This one they opt to sing. Not all episodes of the show they sing. They do sing in some special moments, but in the show they sing. It's good music.
It is pretty good music, and it really fits. It really fits the show. So yeah, it was like everything good about the show. So if you like the show, you're gonna like this. And yeah, so we do get their origin, which we see a little bit in the series. Eventually, the whole. Well, yeah.
So can I say they respect the show, the characters, the content?
Oh yeah.
Which is interesting because the creator of the show is not involved in the movie. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know the details as right now, but there's that.
Yeah.
The director.
I never would have guessed.
The director is one of the producers of the show, but the actual creator, this French guy, Arnaud, I can't remember. I'm not gonna say his name because I can't remember. He's not involved. But again, as I suspected, it respects the characters. It expands. It's a very beautiful, entertaining story about teenagers coming of age, friendship, young love, in Paris of all places. So the background of the story, the Eiffel Tower, the
Notre Dame Cathedral,
the Notre Dame. You see the Louvre, the Arc de Triomphe, So and family. And
her relationship with her family is great.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give more because it would spoil. But some of the relationships are some Victor Fries vibes,
Yeah.
But even that was really well done. I was surprisingly impressed with it's like someone would tell me that. Before watching this movie, it's like someone would tell me that the Paw Patrol movie is really good. That's how I see Cat Noir. No,
and Ladybug
and Cat Noir before. It was like for kids, entertaining.
Yeah,
I never bothered paying attention or watching, especially because the animation is very like computer generated 3D like.
Yeah.
Even if it's not, it looks like. I'm not saying it is, but it looks like. So it's like one of the. It's like It took me when they first announced Star Wars nod when they first announced Clone Wars, not the original one by Cartoon Network, and the creator of Samurai Jack. They announced the one that became a long series, and the first one was a movie, which I had the original in DVD. But I had all of them. But anyways, when they first announced, it was
just flexing all over the place there.
It was announced it would be by the same guy that did Max Steel, the same company, the same style of Max Steel, which is like very 3D, like, you know, it's almost like one of those made to sell toys. If not the content, I never seen it, so I cannot talk about it. But the looks is like, you know, it's from a moment in computer generated graphics that doesn't look quite like.
It hasn't always been great.
Yeah. So the announcement was that. I was like, oh man, gonna have to watch that. Fortunately, Clone Wars was a bit better in the animation, and the content was, you know, if you didn't watch it, go watch it. It's all available on Disney. Of all things on Disney, Clone Wars is one worth your time and your attention. But back to Cat Noir.
Yes.
And Ladybug.
So I've always enjoyed this series. I haven't like really sat down and watched it, but my kids love it, and so I've always it's one they're always allowed to watch. We always like it, and the movie was even better, and I'm so grateful that they love it. It's a great female-led superhero story, but it empowers, these girls are so strong and empowered, but without making the boys look stupid.
Oh, that is so great.
It's a great and yeah, you get all these wonderful, positive, child-appropriate messages told through good storytelling and not through preaching. So there's all this great stuff about teamwork and forgiveness and love and family and friendship and all these really good things. And they've done it with just a solid story. So anyway, it is well worth watching. A great family movie night type thing. Because obviously as adults we enjoyed it and our kids really loved it too.
Yeah, parents, watch with your kids, like the girl said on their part of the video. But yeah, no, it's so refreshing to see. So she's a great character. She's a great lead. She has a man friend. She has a father. The father is always kind of an idiot, and they've been doing this for hundreds of years of media.
But I feel like he's not really an idiot. He's just struggling to have a teenage daughter, which is kind of a universal challenge. True. I feel like for fathers of teenage daughters, especially what do I do with this creature?
Especially in France, where you can have a shotgun. But anyways, but. It was delightful. It was very, very refreshing to see how they treat the characters on it's there's a couple of moments and phrases. I assume it's from the show. We work better together. You know, it's she's not better, or claiming she's not better, even though she's a lead, and he's not better, and he does claim he's better. She's a sidekick, which is funny. Is delightful. But together, you know, for her to rise, it doesn't have to be, you know, diminished. And it's always good to show kids that, because when you show kids that one are better than the other, it doesn't matter which one. You know, you're sending the wrong message. Yeah. That, you know, media, storytellers, creators, eventually gonna have to fix that. And when they over correct, they end up creating problems, which is some of the problems with media right now. But great music, great cast, great animation, available on Netflix. I would recommend it for 100% of kids, because it's good. It's good message. It's entertaining, and adults would have a good time too.
Yeah, and for me, that's always the mark of quality children's entertainment. There's stuff that our kids love, and it there's nothing wrong with it, but it just it's rough on the adults. But the really good stuff, everybody enjoys.
Yeah, no, this is good. It's not Cocomelon. It's not Caillou.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. This is good. Fully recommend.
And I'm really hoping that one or both of my girls will be Ladybug for Halloween. And then one of them just suggested that one of their friends, who's this blonde gray-eyed little boy, should be Cat Noir.
That would be cool.
Oh my gosh, yes. I don't know if we can convince them now.
Yeah. I mean,
But still.
our costumes would suck because our pants are gonna be the pants. And the pant, no, the father, they both bakers. I guess they're bakers.
Both bakers.
Yeah, okay,
I feel
guess,
like you could do fine as her dad, but her mom is Chinese, and that's
I
don't know.
Fantasy.
I don't know if I can fill those shoes.
Yeah.
So
It's Chinese, French Chinese. You know, French Chinese are basically, yes.
oh, by all means, yeah. Say more. Let's.
Yeah. That's
Anyway, so Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir. It's on Netflix. Enjoy it because it's a blast and it's definitely the kind of good, positive content.
Yeah, and
we wanna
definitely,
support.
like the girl said again, watch with your kids. You're not gonna regret it. It's fun for everybody. It takes you away from the world because it literally, when a good story, that's what a good story does. It takes you away from reality, from your problems. And this one has nothing that would bring you back to the mess that is the world, including. It's like a temporal to a point that I don't think there's cell phones or anything, right?
No, there's cell phones.
Yeah, but no important. Oh, there's one. Then one
Yeah,
guy takes
one
a
of the girls.
selfie.
Yeah, there's like
Yeah.
selfies, and one of the main characters, she has like a vlog, and so she's always
Oh,
doing videos and
that's
things.
true. But it's so minimal that it's
Yeah.
it will work for decades to come.
Yeah.
Anyways, Miraculous.
Ladybug.
Ladybug and Cat Noir on Netflix. You should go watch it. We watched other things too.
We did.
I for the record, I was planning on going to see Barbie this week. But
Sorry.
no, it's fine. But her words, she said, "I will dodge the bullet for you." So she went to see with her mother, and she's gonna talk a little bit about Barbie.
Yes. So.
See, she already talking enough about Barbie. I'm kidding.
You see why I maybe didn't want to watch it with him? Like, it's definitely, I was working really hard to come into this with an open mind because there are certain people in my circle who already don't like it. And anyway.
No, I don't like it. I'm pretty sure and you're gonna talk about it. I'm pretty sure the story, it's fun. I mean, the whole politics there. Besides the fact that I'll say after. So go ahead.
Okay. So this is written and directed by Greta Gerwig, starring Margot Robbie. Big cast, fantastic marketing.
Gal Gadot is on it, right?
No, she's not.
No, okay, never mind.
Sorry.
So I don't like it anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's another striking. I'm so sorry, babe. America Ferrera, Simu Liu, Ryan Gosling, whole bunch of people were in this film.
The Simu Liu shows up a lot or just a bit? Yeah, throughout the movie.
Anytime they're in the Barbie world, he's one of the Kens.
Okay.
Anytime they're in the Barbie world.
Okay.
And
so question, do you want to spoil? Or are you going to keep it? Okay.
I'm not going to spoil.
Okay.
Because that's not how we roll here. But I'll say a few things that are like vague in general. Overall, I thought this was really good. Definitely resonating more with women than with men for a big reason. It's written by a woman and I think for a female audience, and she addresses some things that like women are like, yes, I get that. I feel that maybe men don't so much. Also, I feel like there's a lot of satire. And I was talking to my sister about the movie today. She really enjoyed it. And as we were talking, I realized pretty much everything I didn't like about it, it's actually other people not recognizing the satire of the film. So a couple things I've heard people complain about was like saying that the movie is anti-men. And yes, every male character in this film, on some level, is a doofus. But I think that was on purpose, and it's part of the satire. Like, kind of lampooning the way women are often, like, in ages past, the way women are often portrayed and seen in film. Not so much now, like, we're getting better, but, like, anyway. And just, like, and then the role of the Kens and the way Barbie world is essentially a matriarchy. Like, it's a satire on, like, patriarchy, and she's doing that by, like, reversing the roles, and it shows how absurd it all is, and how, like, this whole patriarchy, or rather I should say certain cultural norms that we live with now, really just hurts everybody, and it's not great. So anyway, she also did a great job showing how Barbie does two things, how she can be, like, inspiring and exciting and like fun fantasy, but also just like totally crushed little girls' sense of like self-worth and body image from a young age, which is what Barbie did for me. Like, so she kind of
Wait, she did both, or she did the second?
Yeah, that's
both. Okay.
mostly the second.
Okay.
Like, anyway, so I feel like Greta Gerwig did a great job covering all this in this very clever satire of not just Barbie and Mattel, but also like society in general. She gives us a few laughs. There's some very fun scenes, right?
Few
Ironically,
laughs? So the movie is not funny.
it's funny. There's like really funny moments, but overall, I would say it's not
Okay.
necessarily a comedy.
Oh wow!
There are comedic moments.
I thought it was like labeled comedy. So it has comedic moments, like, you know, the MCU.
Yeah, maybe more like that, except with a little bit more like meat to it. I don't know. When I was walking out of the movie, I didn't feel like, oh my gosh, that was so silly. Like it didn't feel, but I definitely laughed a lot. Ironically, even though this is a film like about women, for women, by women, like satirizing the subjugation of women, Ryan Gosling very nearly stole the show. His performance as Ken was a masterclass in like comedic acting, like so good. And
He is a great actor.
he is, and I think that's part of why the movie was successful. Anyway, overall, I think
There's
it's
like
positive.
top-
There's a reason it's so positive, or it's being so well received. I will say this is not a movie for children. I don't know why anybody thinks it is a movie for children.
Well, it's about a doll.
It's PG-13, and it's written by and stars people who don't have a background in children's entertainment.
It's about a doll.
It's not being marketed with children's shows. Like when you're on YouTube Kids, you're not seeing trailers for Barbie.
The name of the movie is Barbie.
I hear ya, but like G.I. Joe, like, it's not a kids movie. So let's just be very clear about that.
Sure, it's not.
This is a movie
but
for adult women who grew up playing with Barbie.
Okay. Fair, but they kind of sneaking on, you know.
I don't think they're sneaking. It's
Barbie.
PG-13. I know, because it's about Barbie, and like her place and everything. Like
PG-13 can have what, like one bad word, right?
yeah, but also like adult themes and like themes in peril and all this other stuff that's not appropriate for children. I wouldn't say it's like necessarily inappropriate for children, but like it's not made for them.
But it's not appropriate for
It's
children.
not made for them. So like, don't stick your head in this. I'm just
What
really
else?
tired of people complaining about it being marketed to children, because like it wasn't. It's called Barbie, and that is the extent of the child-friendly marketing. Mattel didn't release any special toys for it until well after the release. There's been no like Happy Meal things. There's no advertising on like children's media.
I don't know what to do with that, because there's are movies that do that, so that's not necessarily. Anyways, what else? That's it.
That's it without spoiling it.
Okay.
Spoiling it. Go into
Yeah.
it with an open mind. Know that this is a satire. A la
How's
A
Will
Modest
Ferrell
Proposal
on it? Will
by
Ferrell
Jonathan
is not.
Swift. Will Ferrell's Will Ferrell.
He's a Lego movie villain again.
Oh, no, this is totally, and I saw somebody else talking about this, so I know I'm not like completely insane. This is definitely like the same universe as the Lego movie.
Oh, the same universe?
That's what this person said, and I totally agree. Where like, you know, the dad in the Lego movie, when we cut to the real world, is Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
And we see that he's obsessed with toys, but he's also the character, like he inspired the little boy's character of President Business.
Yeah.
Right? So this guy, he's obsessed with toys, he loves toys, but he's like kind of disconnected from childhood and fantasy. He's the CEO of Mattel. So here we just see the dad from the Lego movie at his
Oh,
day
but the
job.
connection is there's more to it. That's it.
No, that's it.
Okay.
It's headcanon. It's fan theory, but it totally holds
Typecast.
up.
He does play a good pseudo villain, like he does in Ryan Reynolds' movie. He goes through redemption, but he's kind of like strict to rules and
Sure.
yeah. And he's a lovable face, but a hateful character mixing that, I guess, has a good formula.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so just it's a lot of things, but I would say at its core, this is a social satire on par with like Jonathan Swift's A Modest Proposal. So,
With par with what?
Jonathan Swift's A Modest Proposal.
What's that?
It's this great essay from, I want to say, late 18th century. Don't quote me on that.
That's modern.
It's old, but it's like really a great example of satire where he writes this whole thing very deadpan, very serious about how to end poverty in
Killing the
Great
poor.
Britain. Yeah, no, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Almost. He says, like, the poor keep having babies that they can't feed.
Oh, geez.
So why don't we eat the babies?
Oh, wow.
And then, like, there's fewer poor people, and there's enough food for everybody, and it
So it's
solves all
Canada.
the problems. Oh, my gosh. Anyway. Yeah, and so a lot of people were just aghast and horrified, justifiably, not recognizing that it was satire. And I feel like people saying that this film is, like, that Barbie is anti-man and all the rest, they're missing the satire.
Okay. Okay, so there's Barbie. I heard both sides of the debate. To a point, people saying as a movie was coherent, was because I heard continuity and coherence is like it's all over the place.
There's definitely kind of a couple. I think my biggest problem with that was like going into so they distinguish between the Barbie world and the real world, and characters travel back and forth between both, but the real world wasn't terribly realistic, and so it was kind of, I feel like there's maybe
Is that a magical way to go in between a portal, a green pipe like Mario?
There is a special, very Barbie way that if you grew up playing with Barbies,
okay.
you'd be like, oh yeah, that tracks.
Okay. So yeah, there's that, and the people getting problems with what you call satire. But at the same way, I heard on the other side that people said if one side accuses the movie of being woke, the other side accuses the movie of being anti-woke, because the whole premise is between men and women. So there's only 2 genders. There's no 72 genders, like liberals claim. So there's some people defending the aspect of it's a man and a woman. It's a word with men's with men and woman. So there's all that. Either way, the movie is making a huge success. It's making a lot of money.
Really well.
Creating some weird, alarming news. To the point that Mattel is gonna create their own universe, and if they ask Greta Gerwig to direct this one, Greta Gerwig is a director that's been successful lately, but directed stuff like she directed How I Met Your Dad, the sequence show for How I Met Your Father. The show was so bad that it was never picked. It has a pilot, and that's it. And other things. So right now, if the huge success, there's rumors like almost certain that she's gonna direct the next Narnia movie for Disney. Narnia, that C.S. Lewis was extremely Christian, and there's a lot of metaphors on Christianism and in Narnia. So how she's gonna deal with that? It's very scary. But anyways,
I'm choosing not to be scared about it because she's flexed her literary adaptation muscles before with considerable success.
considerable success was that.
Little Women.
Oh, did you see that one?
I have not seen it, but people who love the book love this movie and speak very highly of it.
Yeah.
So it was well made, and her cast is like amazing.
Yeah.
So there's that, but also like the Christianity, like little. The Chronicles of Narnia is a Christian metaphor.
Yeah.
So you can tell all those stories without ever talking about Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Because he only vaguely, like, kind of almost mentions Jesus Christ one time at the very end of Voyage of the Dawn Treader. So I think...
But the metaphor is
we need to
super
be-
strong. Aslan, how do I pronounce that?
Yeah, Aslan.
Yeah. The character is, it's Jesus.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, you can tell the story of Aslan, like, saving Edmund and, like sacrificing his life from Edmund and, like, redeeming him. That doesn't have to be overtly Christian. That's still, like, a powerful and a beautiful moment, whether you believe in Jesus Christ or... So, for Christians, it's, like, extra powerful and, like, whoa, this speaks to, like, the core of my faith and who I am as a person. But I think for anybody else, like, sacrificing for the people you love so they can have a second chance, like, that's good stuff. So I choose to be optimistic. I don't think it can be worse than what Disney did to it, where they just kind of gutted everything like meaningful and powerful and gave us like a visual feast.
Yeah.
You know?
Anyways,
So
she's pairing up with Netflix, so we'll see. There's some interesting, funny news about Netflix and IPs being messed up. But we're gonna get that too.
Oh, okay.
So still against about the Mattelverse, the Mattel universe, Mattel universe. There's already some people cast to direct American Girl and the chubby Cabbage Patch.
There is a wealth of material ready for film from the American Girl.
And they picking some very questionable people. Lena Dunn gonna direct. Dunn gonna direct American Girl.
That's.
Yeah. Anyways, remains to be seen. They're making a lot of money, so of course they're gonna sell everything, but their souls. We'll see what comes next. But that's it. Barbie is still doing
really
big on the box office, but Meg 2 is doing great in China.
Yay!
Because the Chinese love some good action, uncompromised action for entertainment, and of course sharks or megalodons. Would attract them. Quick bit on China controversy. I don't know if I wrote anything about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes, you did.
Okay. So it was leaked images of the characters' toys, action figures for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. In April, on this version, she's black. Just
yet another ginger.
Yes. Sacrificed on the altar of wokeness. So just because there's justification,
to be
just
clear, if you like,
she's not only black. She's short. She's fat, and she's black. The character is tall, red hair, and I guess white.
Yeah.
And in this one, they call her something else. Why you are making the character that was? But anyways, they did.
Yeah.
So the point.
Changing the race of the character doesn't usually bother me, but like it's weird how often it happens to the redheads.
Yeah.
That's what's weird to me.
Someone hates.
Yeah,
redheads.
and then I don't say that as like a yay redheads, but it's like why is it always the redhead? It's just a weird coincidence, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, Superman Legacy is coming soon. Remember, Lex Luthor is red hair. If they do that him, we riot. But anyways,
that's the last straw.
So,
you can do it to the women, but not to the men.
No, they do to men. They do to Jimmy Olsen. They do. To so many. Anyways, our list is long. We have only one episode. Okay. But so the toy of this black character, this black girl, in China is gonna be released as a white character, as a white girl. Which is where's the note? You see?
Right here. I've got my thumb by it.
Okay. Which creates speculations and rumors and hoaxes about will they change the character on the actual movie there too? Because it's if computing power with editing tools, you can change it. So. And they have their values or lack of values or pseudo values down there, and they don't like it. And that was the case before on Star Wars on The Force Awakens.
That's right, when John Boyega was consigned to a tiny corner.
Yeah, he was on the original poster. He was big and prominent on the poster. Yeah. On the Chinese poster, R2, like. Yeah. And R2 is barely on the movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, so there's that. Meg is doing great in China, but around here, you know the drill. There's nothing new coming until Blue Beetle next week. So it's Barbie, Oppenheimer, Sound of Freedom, and Mission Impossible. It's more or less the same. Of course, Haunted Mansion flopped, and it keeps going down. Yeah. There's a quick bit about it, talk about later. And that's it. But we also watched Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
The Peacock show, original show based on a PlayStation video game.
Yep, this is starring Anthony Mackie and Stephanie Beatrice.
Yeah, and the voice of
Will Arnett.
Sweet Tooth.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
It was funny. Most of the time, it was decent. It was entertaining. Even though Mackie, there's a lot of when he's serious, when he's grumpy, just like Falcon, he excels.
He's a good dramatic actor.
When he's trying to be the funny guy, it's like,
you could like feel him acting. I don't know if that makes sense, but there's like moments when you feel an actor acting, you're like, oh, you're acting so much.
Yeah.
It didn't feel natural coming from him.
Yeah.
But eventually, like, I got enough into the story, into the characters that we were able to get past all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, comedy is not my man's strong suit.
If anything, Stephanie Beatrice excels on everything.
Gosh.
She's funny.
So good,
she's serious.
Yeah.
You believe in everything she does.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like she's very good. And considering that like her breakout role was
No, it wasn't that.
No, her breakout role was
Brooklyn
Rosa,
Nine-Nine,
Brooklyn
yes.
Nine-Nine, yeah. Like I've loved seeing her range and how good she is at everything. She's fantastic.
So a Twisted Metal, Neve Campbell was on it too, and she's a bad guy, or is she? I don't know. We have to see. So it's available on Peacock. 10 episodes.
I wasn't counting, but yeah.
10 episodes, and it's kind of like a prologue for the game, because the game is about a race, and this one is leading to the race, to the competition. Anyways.
Yeah. Okay. Also in streaming, Suits has broken its own Nielsen record as most streamed acquired content.
Yeah.
Netflix is pushing it hard, so do we need to watch it? I don't know. That seems very popular.
Yeah. No, not really.
No? Okay.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. The Marcos, the Harry's, Meghan Markle, Harry might be happy.
That's right.
They might be making, I don't know, a tiny little bit of money on residuals, unless they're on strike too. Anyways.
Well, yeah, so speaking of the strike, we might get to a point where that's all that's left to watch, because the strike continues. WGA and the AMPTP failed to agree.
Don't worry, in any given day, 800,000 series, something like that.
Yeah.
You can watch. So, yeah. But again, goes to the strike. What you said?
Yeah. So they had the WGA and the AMPTP. Is that the American Motion Picture and Theater Producers?
Sure.
I don't know. I just made that up. But they're the two sides got together to talk. Didn't go so well. They're trying again on Friday, but in the meantime, the strikes continue.
Oh yeah, and is a lot of drama, a lot of trash talking on both sides, to the point that Stephen Amell, our Green Arrow from CW, he's starring now in Heels. Is the wrestling term for the guys that get punched. Heels, right?
Yeah. The one to ask.
Hill Hills.
Oh, Hills.
Yeah, that's the name of the show.
Oh.
So he got under fire, and he was basically forced to apologize by the mob.
Oh no.
Because he was trying to be the nicest guy and saying about his principles on how he's against strikes.
Oh.
But in the same speak, he said, "But I support my union. I support my colleagues." But that was not enough.
Oh.
People came to crucify him, and he was forced to apologize.
People are the worst.
But yeah, another one that had to apologize was Jamie Lee Curtis. That on the same way she was declaring that she was Switzerland, that she would remain neutral.
Yeah.
She was also forced to apologize by the mob. But yeah.
People are starting to feel it outside of the unions and stuff. So the Primetime Emmy Awards have been rescheduled to January. Oh no.
It's moving from September all the way to January.
Yeah.
So it's a big move.
It is a big move. Yep. This is rough. the California economy apparently lost $3 billion in the first 100 days of the strike.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get worse.
That's an economist estimate from one of the universities. I don't remember the details. But if it goes into October, the number could go up to 5 million.
That's
billion.
Yeah, billion. So it's kind of a big deal. Some films are getting approved. I guess my understanding is if the studio making the film, and this is mostly like the indie studios, if they meet the current strike like contract demands, then they get to make their movie. So Michael Mann's Ferrari has been approved for an interim agreement.
Yeah, with Adam Driver.
Oh,
Ferrari. Did you get
Driver.
it? Yeah, it is really Adam Driver. It's not just a joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Disney is starting to feel the pain. They've had to cut their budget by $3 billion.
Yeah. And Bob Iger was this past week. There was the whole quarterly meetings to tell the stockholders what was the profit, what was the damage, and more or less nothing changed much yet. So that's why I'm not talking about it. But there's some crucial things that happen, like Sony, even with Across the Spider-Verse doing spectacularly great, doing
such a good movie.
Even with PlayStation 5 still like outselling everywhere, Sony still didn't reach the marks they wanted. So some other companies, but again, you have the economy there is a disaster. You have some other things going on. But Iger came for this meeting, and he talked a lot about the future, the present and the future of Disney, including this budget cut of $3 billion.
Yeah.
He talked about the losses. He talked about the failures, Lightyear, Indiana Jones, everything they've been haunted mansion, everything they're putting out is failing. And he said they're gonna do less, and they're gonna try to focus on quality. Hopefully this quality will be less woke, because that's what taking people away from the theaters.
You know how they had to close that Star Wars hotel? That alone is costing them $250 million.
Yeah.
In like lost, what do they call it? Like accelerated depreciation or something? Some economic term that people who don't have millions of dollars don't have to worry about. But it's
taking
a lot of hits.
It was nonsense. The cost for the audiences was like, with the money they would pay there, it's like, why don't I call Mark Hamill and pay him to have lunch with him? Because it was crazily expensive.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh,
especially considering that you go to the hotel, right? Spend the night there, but then you go to the park for Rise of the Resistance, whatever the name of the ride is. And even with fast passes, the wait is still,
it's a long wait.
It's not worth, because there's this whole phenomenon of when they first created the first passes, the rider fast, whatever they call, the people would pay and get in front of the line, but more people start paying. Now the lines are basically the same.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Yeah. So as we're talking about like all these losses, all these hits Disney's taken, I just keep thinking of what's his face's line from After Party when he looks down, he says, "This was avoidable."
Oh yeah. After Party.
I predicted all of this. Yeah. And like, we're not big industry people. We're just like a couple of goobers with a podcast. Like, we predicted it. Like, it's so... It was avoidable.
Name one new podcast, Goobers with a Podcast. Trademark pending.
You know what? My siblings and I want to do a podcast. We might take that.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. With all this going on, Iger says the potential Disney sale is not something they're obsessing about.
But there's other names coming. Apple is the big one, but there's some other companies interested in,
They're also going to start cracking down on password sharing with Disney Plus, as well as raising prices on Disney Plus again. So yay for that. Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm have fired the Haunted Mansion director from he was supposed to do the Lando series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's causing this whole mess there because it's black. And yeah. But they're gonna make Lando for some reason.
I'll say it again. This was avoidable. This series, I would love to be proved wrong. I would love to be proved wrong and have this series just blow us out of the water with quality and insight and like expansion on Star Wars lore.
No,
but I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen.
The whole woke pollution, the whole woke garbage coming to the media is to a point that the selling market of the show is that Lando, and I saw this headline somewhere, someone talking about, we're gonna work on Lando Calrissian is a very interesting character. Mm-hmm. He's black.
That's not why he's interesting.
Pansexual.
That's also not why
that's what they used to sell. That's what they worked to. So it was like, who cares? Nobody. Anyways.
In the Star Wars universe, like, okay, first of all, Billy D. Williams shows up just like dripping charisma from everywhere. So there's that. But then also he's like the rogue criminal turned businessman turned traitor turned like good guy. Like we go on a journey with him. Like there's so much that's interesting and compelling about him that has nothing to do with his race, because this is set a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
And that's anyway.
But yeah, no, but it's like they're selling out the wrong things.
Yeah.
And that's what they're gonna make the show around, which is already a bad start. So we'll see. If it happens, we watch. If it doesn't happen, hey, we can watch something else. But anyways, we were talking about just one quick one about Disney Marvel. Fantastic Four is being rumored that Vanessa Kirby would be Sue Richards or Sue Storm,
which sounds great to me.
It sounds great. She's talented. She's a very good actress, and she works really well. Blonde.
Yeah, she's got like the comic book look.
They keep
like
her
gorgeous,
blonde,
blue eyes.
because
blonde.
Sue Richards is blonde.
You heard it here, folks.
Her son is even blonder. So, yeah. But again, these days they change just because. But there's some weird, alarming, or at least questioning rumors that she would be the lead. She's a very strong character in the books. She definitely has stories where she leads. There's moments that Richards literally died, and she has to take over the Fantastic Four, the Baxter Foundation and the Future Foundation, the whole thing, led by the most intelligent man in the planet. She has to take over that, but in the origin movie, for her to lead it's I don't know, it's concerning. But anyways,
again, would love to be proved wrong. This could be really good. It could also be terrible. We'll see.
Yeah.
So as you've probably figured out by this point, we feel like adaptations, whether it's comic books, literature, video games, whatever, adapting anything to film or television is tricky business. And this applies to The Witcher as well. With Henry Cavill leaving, there's been a lot of discussion about how well The Witcher is like staying true to the source material, being faithful to that, doing a good adaptation, because of course Henry Cavill's like really big on that. But there's a bit of an incident.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because of this moment of strike where the passions are like overheated and people are saying things that they shouldn't, or they should think more about what they say. So writer producer for the show The Witcher claimed, and there was this whole thing with Cavill before saying no, you're not doing it right, and that's why Cavill left, and this whole thing we talked about it. But now the producer said it's like, no, we do respect the books. And to prove that, he mentioned he shows something, and the character's name is misspelled.
It's an innocent mistake. It could happen to any of us, but this is not a good look, man. Doesn't help your case.
Writers is supposed to write.
Yeah.
The craft words.
I know. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt.
But there's more. There's more.
No.
There was he also said he blamed. It's the worst. Disney does that excellently, because they divide to conquer, and they blame the audiences. Say,
so annoying.
toxic. You don't like this character because she's black. toxic racist.
Yep.
It's like,
Nope,
no.
I don't like her because she's poorly written and she doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
because the actress sucked. The story sucks. It shouldn't exist. Anyways.
I don't think that actress would have sucked if she'd been given a half decent character to play.
Well, I mean, we can. You can.
You can't say. I'm just saying that's my prediction.
Yeah, but we can't measure that because it's like, oh, if she would give the actor, the awarded role of this, she would be. You can tell she could be. Maybe she wouldn't. I don't know.
I'm just saying. I'm blaming writers.
But anyways,
blaming writers first.
So blaming the audience is like the stupid guy from Ghostbusters.
Oh my god.
The girls blame the audiences to all sorts of things, and the movie flopped, and it was like, oh, it's toxic. Anyways, so writer from The Witcher saying that they had to dumb down the Witcher. The story, they have to shorten and delete and dumb down because of American audiences.
Oh my gosh.
So, again, it could be because of the strike. They are starving. Some of them are, not everybody. But anyways, so he came out to say that. But moving on.
That's just insulting. All right. Okay, CAA is laying off dozens.
Yeah.
Who's that?
It's a agency.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Paramount is selling Simon & Schuster to investment firm KKR for $1.6 billion.
So print isn't totally dead. It's still worth billions of dollars. Yeah. David Ayer is saying that James Gunn may be promised a Suicide Squad director's cut.
And that was all over the news this week. I would just say, don't trust James Gunn.
Not even a little bit.
So
because after rumors that Wonder Woman 3 isn't happening, and then rumors that it is happening, we're back to it's not happening.
It's not happening. So don't trust him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. In much happier news, we just saw a really cool trailer for the Continental.
It looks so good. It's a prequel. It's Winston, and you can tell the guy is so great. The actor is like the way he holds in the way he speaks.
Yeah,
and it's.
I couldn't remember the guy's name, but he turned around with the glass, and this is set in the 70s, so like 50 years younger, different guy. He turns around with the glass. I'm like, oh, it's the dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's gonna be a special 6 episode, 6-night event, as they call. And we can't wait. John Wick is a phenomenal property. They created from scratch, and they created this great narrative universe in the middle, not exposing everything from the beginning, making people want more. And Walt Disney says, like, make people want more. That's why they come back, and that's why we go back, and so many more people.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Okay. Seattle's Museum of Pop Culture has erased all mentions of J.K. Rowling from their Harry Potter display.
Yeah. Vindictive revenge woke mob is censoring. It's like Tolkien with Lord of the Rings without Tolkien. It cannot be done. Wait, Amazon did.
Like we said, it can't be done.
Anyway, so that happened.
Yeah, it gets tricky because anyway. Sylvester Stallone is closing out the Toronto Film Festival.
Yeah, with a documentary about himself, Sly.
I have to see that.
He has some intense moments. He has a good story.
Yeah.
You know, how he came from nothing and he gave up everything, and he was rewarded to great sacrifice, great reward, and yeah, it's a good story. I want to see that.
He's kind of an icon too. Like, it's good stuff. All right, and absolutely absurdities that to close out the night. Linda Yaccarino says that Elon Musk is training for the Zuckerberg fight, and what a great brand sponsorship opportunity. So let's pay the billionaires to fight each other. I think it's a fun take on.
People will pay. I was already talking to friends. It's like, hey, where are we gonna watch the fight? It's like Buffalo Wild Wings or what? It's like, they were talking about going to Wendover, which is a sort of Vegas, Atlantic City. It's like in the border of the state where there's a casino. It's like, I'm not going. But you should stay here and see this fight.
Yeah.
And I hope it's not like a 3-second fight, one kicking out. I hope it lasts and they go the distance, and that'll be fun.
I don't know. I just feel like this is a really fun way. It feels like redirecting the billionaires. So like when I taught kindergarten, and we have little kids, and when they're just getting in trouble, you try to redirect them towards a harmless, positive activity. And I feel like that's what we've done with Elon and Zuckerberg. It's like, okay, you guys are really getting on nerves. So you guys come over here and fight each other, and we'll go on and live our lives. And I feel like this is a fun new take on Eat the Rich. And anyway, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
No, I don't know. Okay. And what's going on at Chinese zoos?
Oh, this is ridiculous.
This is so weird.
China is claiming that their bears at their zoo, one of their zoos, they're real bears, but
these pictures look weird, man.
they're not. No, they're not bears. Come on. An image speaks for 1,000 words.
Yeah.
And
all of these words
none of
are
them,
not a bear.
Yeah, and none of those words are a real bear.
Yeah.
It's
The other words are, it's a
it.
dude in a suit.
You should see it. As a matter of fact, here, can you see? Is this a bear? No, it's not a bear. So that's how it's gonna end with you. If you know a bear is, this is not a bear.
That's not it.
Okay.
Yeah. So see n'est pas un ours.
Yeah. But we come back next week. You're gonna see Blue Beetle. We're gonna be one of the 2 of the 5 people that are gonna watch this movie, because this movie is gonna flop. They screaming and claiming Latinx, whatever they call now, a revolution to go support this movie, even during the strike, promote this movie. But I don't know.
It's a bummer.
They
I've wanted Blue Beetle on screen for so long. I want this to be good.
They canceled Batgirl, and it feels like they should cancel that Flash, and they should cancel this Blue Beetle.
Maybe we could have gotten a good background movie instead.
But yeah. Anyways, that's it for this week. You come back next week for more pop culture news, entertainment. May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.